If you were a manager, I'm glad you picked manager. I anticipated that. What would your key messages to your players be at the beginning of the season in terms of what they need to know about working with you?
Enjoy the game and work hard, and we won't have a problem. Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast, The Bold Tackle. We are your hosts, Sophie Howard and Oliver Howard, and we are ready to tackle bold topics in sport,
highlight the women's football industry,
and speak about the unspoken.
If you are ready to get an insight into what really goes on behind the scenes, join us on our journey and listen in
to The Bold Tackle. Hi and welcome back to a new episode of our podcast, The Bold Tackle. Hi Soph, lovely to have you here and lovely to be back in the morning sessions again.
Woo, back in the morning. I know, it's become a routine again. We started strong at the beginning of the series of episodes, I guess. Then we went more towards evening and now we're back morning. I hope we both look presentable and people wouldn't know or couldn't tell.
I do today.
You do, look presentable, yeah. Compared to myself, to be fair. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. But I think we should be talking about you again, or the team again, for another match where you were so close and at the end of the day, last minutes, and you fail.
Fail? All right. Where we concede and we lose the game. Yes, you're very right. It is so frustrating and I can't say it enough. I mean, anyone that was there or watched the game or maybe watched it back, because I know Dad does that. We were so close. We deserved more. And as a small lapse in, I can't even say it was concentration. We just didn't get enough pressure on in that one moment, and they score a bloody worldie. And the sad thing is, Yanni touched the ball, because we spoke about it after. Yanni had it, and it was just so pin perfect that even Yanni couldn't save it.
Is there something you can change about your game to switch and to just not be so unlucky, let's call it?
Well, ironically, after we recorded this last episode, and not because of this episode at all, it was a coincidence, we sat down as a team and we asked ourselves those questions like, what is it and what can we change? And I think anything that we did discuss, we did change. I think we defended really, really well as a team. Started from the front player, starting from Lena. He put in a massive shift defensively on Sunday. We made subs quite early on. Early on meaning not when we were already flagging, but before we were flagging. So we never had to carry anyone. We absolutely stuck to the game plan. We found different ways of playing out. We weren't stubborn. We were flexible. Everything we were discussing in the episode and even in the team meeting, we did. And if it wasn't for that small moment, because it was the only time really we didn't get pressure on, and then someone of the quality of Ella is going to put it in the back of their net.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfair of Lena's game. Obviously, that's the way you have to play when you're in a situation like you guys are, but she gets very little to do up front and very little opportunities. It's a lot of fighting up front and being the first defender instead of a striker.
Yeah, in I say the most recent 2 games, we've sat off a bit, and I actually think Lena was thriving in the last 2 games. She loves that battle. I think that was probably one of the best defensive performances I've seen from Lena. But even in those games, you need someone up top that can hold up the ball to allow us to move up, and she did that really, really well. We knew against United it's going to be a tough game, and we also knew that probably we'd be sitting off waiting to get the ball and then counter-attack and then exploit them, and we analysed that, and that was our only game plan, because we wanted to have more possession. But when a team like United get the ball, they keep the ball. So that's when you're without the ball for a long spell. But once we had the ball, not so much in the first half, I have to say, but second half, we were dangerous. And for Lena, as much as it's an unthankful job, she did her job so well in that game.
Yeah. So 2 matches to go in the season.
Yeah.
What's the goal for the next 2 matches?
Maximum points, to be very honest. We've underperformed result-wise for so long now. If we want to get anywhere near the top 6, top 7, we need 6 points from the last 2 games. And I hope that doesn't come across cocky, but that comes across confident.
Doable?
Absolutely doable. We could have had 9 from the last 3 games. Doable. But now we've got 2 games left, so we can only focus on the last 2, and that's 6 points. And that is absolutely what we're going for. That's not even a question anymore.
And you need to correct yourself in your matches in total, don't you? Because you need these 2 to get your 100.
Yeah, very true. I really do apologise, everyone. I don't know how, but I miscalculated my games.
How did you notice? Who told you?
Well, no one told me, but in the matchday programs, there's a list of all of our squad players and then the appearances, and it said 97 instead of 98. So I thought it was 98.
So maybe they got it wrong.
No, because you can imagine I went home and counted. After that game, I went home and I counted every single game, and they are right. I don't know how I did it, but I added a sneaky game somewhere. Which, however, as much as sorry everyone, I do apologise. As much as I never wanted to make that mistake and just add a game, it makes it actually extra special that Mum said for the 100th. So there's always a positive, I guess. So Mum will be there for the official 100th game if I do play another 2 games. So currently I'm on 98, not 99 games, everyone.
Lovely. But something to look forward to still.
Absolutely. But enough from me, Ollie, because today you're on the hot seat. Everyone, we thought after the good reactions from me being on the hot seat and us answering Ollie's quick fire questions, compared to Ollie, I did give Ollie a heads up and said it's your turn today. He doesn't know the questions that are coming at him. But today we're putting Ollie on the hot seat.
And I can tell you it's a very uncomfortable situation for me.
Welcome to my life.
on the business side, even on the personal side, I like being the one who asks the questions and not the one who has to answer questions. So let's see how this goes.
Welcome to my life. And I hope you enjoy these next 15 minutes of sweating and nerves.
How many questions do you have?
Oh, it depends how long you answer them for. I hope it's not a one answer question, to be honest.
Yes. No. Yes.
Yeah, no. There's a few where it's literally a 1 or 2 answer question, but there's a few where I'm hoping that you're going to elaborate a little bit to
I'll do my best.
The viewers a little bit of insight. Right, shall we go?
Let's go.
So I do apologise. I'm looking at my laptop because I've got them here. Yeah, everything on my laptop. Okay, first one. Easy one for you. Introduction, Ollie. Manager or sporting director of football?
Of. I would like to be both, but I think if I had to choose, I'd be the manager because I like being on the pitch side. I like being involved, but I think everyone who's listened to the podcast for a couple of episodes, I like the business side of things as well. But I think if I had to choose, I'll be the manager, be pitch side and win some titles.
Love that. Love that answer. Good start, Ollie. Good start.
Thank you, Sophie.
Okay, a little bit longer question, bear with me. If you were a manager, I'm glad you picked manager, I anticipated that. What would your key messages to your players be at the beginning of the season in terms of what they need to know about working with you?
Enjoy the game and work hard and we won't have a problem.
Oh my God, it's as if you practice this. Have you thought about your key message already?
No, but I think that's something I would have liked to hear if I were a player. Because I was someone who worked really, really hard. I enjoyed football, but I was too nervous and too scared of making mistakes. So as soon as I was on the pitch and I made a mistake, it affected my whole game. Whenever I had a game where I really enjoyed it and I wasn't scared of making mistakes, that's one of my best games. And I remember a couple of them where I came off the pitch and people said, "What happened? Which drug did you take to play football today?" But it was slowly the fact I was enjoying the game and I was not scared of making mistakes. So I think that would be my key message, because I learned out of my career, non-existent career.
No, you had a career, just a different one. I really, do you know what? From the very first episode we recorded, it's been on my mind that you always say, "I never made it," and this is not even a joke, because I spoke to Dad about it. You have made it in a different way, though.
Oh yeah, but I agree, and I really like the life I'm living.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're little and you have a dream,
Yeah.
Mum always tells me I wanted to be a doctor, because of Dr. Brown. But I would have. I think it's difficult, because I really dreamt of being a football professional, and I really love the game of football, as everyone can hear. I'm not sure, though, I would have been a good professional, because I think outside would have affected me a lot, and I'm not sure how I could have dealt with this very prominent life and being in front of funny enough, being in front of the camera the whole time. But, you know, here at work, I'm in front of the camera, but outside, no one knows who I am, and I love that part. So, although I dreamt of being a footballer, I think this was the right way for me.
Yeah, I hear you. Ironically, you're behind the camera pretty much every single day.
I am. But
Yeah.
I can decide when I'm in front of it. I don't have people running around wanting my autographs.
Don't worry, like, I'm a professional footballer and I'm in front of the camera and no one knows who I am, so...
Well, I wouldn't agree. Do you remember when we were in Paris and we went to see the Eiffel Tower? And I mean, we're in Paris. We're not in Leicester. We weren't in Reading at the time. We weren't in Frankfurt or whatever. We were in Paris, on that spot in front of the Eiffel Tower, taking the pictures. And people came up to talk to you. So people do know you.
Yeah, I think, I guess it's grown in the recent years, to be honest. But yeah, that was back, 5 years ago now. But back then, that was a unique moment. Whereas, I don't want to say, because this will come across the way, I don't want to say it's like normal now. But especially in Leicester, I know that potentially at any moment someone could come up, and that's just a life I've almost chosen and built here in Leicester.
And you enjoy it.
I do. Like, the thing is, like, I think everyone that knows me knows how committed I am to the club and the city that I live in, and that Leicester City as a community, as a city, as a club means everything to me right now. And I think people can feel that. And I think that's how I've built a connection with the people in and around Leicester. And therefore, this recognition increases, I guess. But anyways, enough about me again. Sorry. Back to you, Ollie. Good little key message. Can you just repeat it for the listeners? Because you went on for a bit.
Work hard and enjoy it, and we'll be fine.
I love that. Next question. What's your favourite footballing memory as a player or supporter?
I didn't score very many goals, so I can probably count them on two hands when I was senior. So a couple of the goal moments were really enjoyable. But I remember a game, and after the game, I wouldn't have told you this would have been my favourite game. But I remember a game, and I just got into the seniors. I must have been 17, 18, maybe 19. And we were playing pretty high at that stage. We were in the 4th division because there wasn't a 3rd Bundesliga. And we played against a team, and I had this, I'll say older guy, but he was probably beginning 30, mid-30 at that point. And he was destroying me. And it was such a mentally exhausting game. I'm not sure if we drew or we lost at the end. But the way I had to defend and fight and be there, and Dad will probably remember the game. That's one I always remember look back to and remember and think of in the hard times, that at one point in life I'm going to enjoy this time. And I think this is one of my favourite memories, how hard a match can be, but how rewarding it is at the end.
Great, Ollie. See, I think we should switch the roles at times because your answers are actually incredible.
Well, we'll be finished after one episode. Not much more to tell.
Yeah, it'll take you 4 weeks to prepare for every episode. It just comes naturally to you, whereas I have to really prepare. And this is at 7 a.m. in the morning, everyone.
I'm still fresh, so I'm still fresh.
Yeah, still fresh. I'm still tired, maybe. I'm still sleepy. It's probably even better than everyone. If you could have chosen any career in the world, what would it have been?
Again, I dreamt of being a football professional, but I always wanted to be self-employed because that's what Dad was, and that's the only way I knew life. And although I love learning from other people and having people above me who I can learn from, I always wanted to be my own boss, because my key message for my life is I always wanted to have a family and be there for the family. So I never had a profession that I wanted to have, but I wanted to be self-employed. And that's from the day I started working. I always know what I was working towards, and that was being self-employed. And now it just turns out I found it fun to view with Tim, and I enjoy it so much.
I know you do. Every time you speak about your company, every time you speak about work, or when I go home and we speak about news or something, I can actually see, and this might sound weird, but I can see like the joy and the fire in your eyes.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that you're in the corporate world and you absolutely love what you do. And you've dedicated your life to your work. Of course, you've got your own family now, but I absolutely know you've sacrificed so much to build the life that you have. And that is so nice to see.
And there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, of course. And that's the exciting part about life, isn't it?
Exactly.
What's one of the biggest challenges faced or the biggest lessons learnt in your life?
Enjoy life, because it's going to get... I don't want to talk too much personal, but obviously, I had cancer in my eye and they took it out and so on. It's all fine now. I was at the doctor's yesterday and all my blood values are great. So there's nothing to complain about. But that just showed me I was always ready for the fight, even from the day one that I was told that I had it. And they told me they had to take out my eye, which obviously you can see didn't happen. But from day one, I was ready for the fight. But I told myself I wasn't ready to go yet. So that fight was always there. And I said to myself, I'm going to enjoy every minute of life. And whatever I do, I try to enjoy every minute of my life, because you never know how long it's going to go. And to experience it first, it sounds weird and quirky and whatever, but I experienced it, and that's what I took from it. I'm going to enjoy every moment.
And you are, aren't you?
Well, I hope so. There's bad moments as well, but I just don't try to dwell in them for too long, because there's always a solution. It might be good, it might be a bad solution, but take it and move on.
Absolutely. And I think that's something you taught me, haven't you? First of all, control the controllables. But sorry for my language, but shit happens. Deal with it.
Exactly. And hey, we all have shit happen to us. It's just different kind of shit. So also maybe just be kind to the next person, because you don't know what's going through his head either. Yeah.
We need more Ollies in our life, really, guys. Everyone, we need more Ollies. But next one. Becoming a bit more business-like, but I know you've got a lot to share there. Are you feeling a little bit uncomfortable now, talking about your personal life?
It's just, we spoke about it before, didn't we? I like to be anonymous. You're asking me the question, so I'm giving you the answer, because this is a dinner table chat, as we always say, but I like talking about business more than me personally.
All right, I'll give you that. Give me 1 second. One area you'd love to own a business in, and why?
I do business with a passion, but again, here I don't really have... I keep thinking of ways to earn money without hurting other people, because there's a lot of businesses where you're out for earning money. You don't care what anyone else does. And this is why we found it fun for you, because we wanted to get information out of the capital markets, and not all have sponsored content. It was important for us to have editorial content. which helps other people to make a decision how to invest, or to tell people what's happening in the market and not just the good things. So I like owning businesses where other people profit from as well and make me money. But I couldn't think of anything. The one that pops to my mind, we go to this indoor play park with our daughter every now and again. And you walk in, there's a couple of chairs and tables and chairs. You sit down, you can have some food. You can bring your own food as well. But there's like bouncy castles and labyrinths and all that kind of stuff, bumper cars and so on. This guy must be making millions, because I think it's a tenner or something to go in. But this thing, whenever we go, is packed with children. So I keep thinking that could be an interesting business opportunity to open. It's literally a big old tennis hall or soccer court or whatever it was. They took everything out and put loads of toys in, and kids go and play. And normally always ill when you go out. But that's a business, I think, where you earn a lot of money, which is not a lot of stress.
Yeah.
If you're okay with noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Headphones on.
Exactly.
That is so you, by the way. Spending a nice afternoon with your daughter and you're thinking about a business opportunity.
Unfortunately, I always do.
Yeah, that's how your brain works, isn't it? Your one piece of advice or message for anyone looking to walk away from their job and go into self-employment?
Oh, do it. Oh, it's amazing. Everyone always says how secure it is to be employed.
Mm-hmm.
But is it? I mean, they can fire you any day. In the UK, it's even easier than it is in Germany. In Germany, employees have a lot of rights and are very secure. I think it's very, very different in the UK. If you have a good idea and you believe in yourself, it'll be worth it. And even if you don't make it, you'll learn so much out of it. The second thing is you can decide how hard you work and how much money you earn. Obviously, someone has to pay the price. But I do believe that if you work really hard, you'll earn the money. And it doesn't mean you have to be a millionaire, but you could be earning the same money as you were when you were employed, and you work when you want to. That's something Dad does really, really well. I don't. I just work the whole time because I enjoy it. But you can really decide where future takes you and where your job takes you, and if you want to continue or do it or not. So one of my best mates, he's a photographer, and he does wedding photography, but he didn't go and visit a course or anything. He took a camera in his hand. He figured out how the camera works. He's really good with people, and he's making good money with being a wedding photographer. He doesn't trust himself to take the step into full employment, but it's a side hustle. And you can start with a side hustle and make it your fulfillment. But my message would be, do it. It's going to be great fun.
Nice. I just guess it's not for everyone, but everyone that is considering it, your message would be, go and do it. You won't regret it.
Why is it not for everyone? What is a risk you're taking? I know not everyone has that mindset.
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean.
If you don't want to work hard and you just want to sit there and earn some money, you're best being employed. Because
there you go.
If you go to really big companies, you fall through the racks, you say?
Yeah.
You fall through the grid, you don't get noticed, you earn the money, you go home. Fine. You don't think about work when you go home. But if you do want to achieve something in your career, if you do want to go up the ladder, do it yourself.
Yeah,
I think it'll be more rewarding.
That's where my comment comes from. Like, not everyone has that growth mindset. Not everyone wants to go and...
and that's totally fine as well.
Yeah.
Because maybe you put even more value into being home at 5 o'clock to spend time with your daughter, or to spend time with your son or whatever. But if you're thinking about it, think about it good and hard, because it is a hard process. Think about the idea you have, because in some way it needs to be unique. And even if it's you as a person that it's unique, the way you act with people and so on, but just do it. It's going to be great fun.
Love that.
Oh, and something else, and this is something from my side. We were a little bit naive when we went into it, because we didn't think through everything. We thought about a lot, but we didn't think think through everything. And that was a good thing, because the more you try to go into detail, the more stepping stones there where you think, I might not do it.
Yeah.
Do it and figure it out at the end.
Yeah. So just kind of not learn as you do, but just take the leap of faith and go for it. And I guess you can't predict everything anyways. So therefore you might as well go for it.
No, exactly. And a lot of the times you have an idea. So we had the idea of actually creating and publishing a magazine. That idea was out of the window after 6 months because COVID struck. And this is some things you just can't predict, but you just have to be a little bit flexible. And this is why, funny enough, we switched to videos and we switched to online podcasting, video, and so on, online events even, because we thought they're at home, they have the time, let's try it. And it worked out, and we're still doing it today. We have a video studio of 50,000 euros here. Just because the opportunity was there, we saw the opportunity and we tried. And we didn't start with 50,000. We started with a laptop, with a camera. You don't need a lot. When we founded the company, we had a laptop and a phone contract. That's all we had. We sat on our tables, we started calling people. That's how we started.
Love that. I'll just keep grinning because it's so you. I know you very well, I guess. It's just so you. But I love that. You're 33 now. You recently got married. You've got a beautiful little daughter. You're a business owner and you founded your company at a fairly young age. What's next? You've got everything going for you. What's next?
Enjoy the process. I want more children, and my wife knows. We talk about it a lot.
Say, only you, or how does that work?
I look, the whole goal in my life, even with, as I said, being self-employed, was having family, because I think this is something you will always have, and it's something to really be proud of, to sit at the Christmas table with a lot of people around you. We always had this in the family, and I want to keep it this way. And this is always been my goal, so probably a next child. But for me, enjoy the whole process and enjoy life. There's always more to achieve, right? And we can always aim for it and achieve more, but enjoy the time getting there as well.
Enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride to your destination, I guess.
A lot of messages I didn't know I had.
You've got a lot of knowledge stuck in you. That's why we're doing this. And I'm not the best at asking questions, we know that. So
I could have predicted half of them, couldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
The manager, sports.
I think they're very good questions.
The manager, sports director was a good one, because I've never really thought about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You were talking about dream job earlier. I think my dream job could be manager. I think that would be great fun. I keep saying to my colleague that I have in my office, if I do win the lottery, I do play it every now and again when there's 120 million, then everyone would take that, wouldn't they? But
yeah, I'd take that. If you win 120, I'll get some, I know that. Whatever is tax-free, I'll get.
We got it on the record. No, but I think I'd still work for FundView, but I maybe work half and do other half manager, but train kids.
I was just going to say, I don't think a manager is a part-time job, but obviously you've just...
No, but train kids, because there's so much you can get out of kids with just getting to them to enjoy it and to work hard and to have the right values. Someone else can do the work at the top where it gets more frustrating, but just manage kids, that would be great fun, because I don't need to earn any more money, right? I'm done on 3 generations after me.
Yeah. What would you do with 120? 120 mil?
Invest it.
Oh, you're so boring. I knew you were going to say that. Am I getting anything, or what's happening?
Well, tax-free money you can have.
Yeah.
The rest gets
so
invested.
Annoying. You're so predictable. When it's about money, if I won 1 million, you would say, like, all right, you need to invest this and this and this.
1 million's not enough. 1 million's not going to get you through anything, is it? You could buy a house nowadays, that's half of it gone, and then you've got all that. Do you know what? I'd probably still rent. My wife would say we wouldn't, but I wouldn't have any stress to invest it, and there you go.
Yeah.
Live with the interest.
You're so annoying. Your poor wife, she has to deal with that every day.
She chose it.
This took a little turn, I guess. Favorite childhood / family memory?
Oh, the Christmas playtimes where we argued a lot and then had a lot of fun. Those were amazing because you brought it to my mind yesterday. The circus audition we had in our garden where Eddie kicked me in the face and I had a blue eye for 2 weeks. There's a lot of them. This episode would go too long.
Well, to give everyone a little bit of context, Sam and my twin and her boyfriend went to watch judo. It was. So I was like, oh, if you need any tips, you can ask him. Was it Ed or Ollie? No, you can ask Ed because he did a judo trick. And he basically gave you a black eye, didn't he? For mum and dad.
He was only 2 or 3.
Even worse. For mum or dad's birthday or something like that, we did a circus, I guess, appearance or performance. And Ed was 2 and 3. That means you were like 10, 11. And you two did a brother act. And he did a little judo, was it a roll or something?
No, I did a judo roll. And he was in front of me, just kicked me in the face and hit me straight in the eye. Well, by the way, that was the end of the performance.
It only lasted 20 seconds.
What a great birthday present that was.
Do you remember the other time? I don't know if you were still at home, but Sam had, this is not a current boyfriend, but she had someone over or whatever, and they were playing on the trampoline in Ed's garden, in our garden, and then they were coming to watch my game, and I'm pretty sure Ed was on it as well, and by accident, he broke the guy's nose.
No, this is a little bit different. This is going to go too long, so I'm going to keep it really short. They were going to a theme park, and it was Eddie's birthday, and he got this trampoline, so they were on there. And this guy said, Eddie, I can do a somersault. So he was on the trampoline, did a somersault, and hit his nose with his own knee. And at that point, they didn't know, but broke his nose, and it was running with blood. And Dad said, so are we taking you to hospital or we go to the theme park?
Dad, it's so typical Dad.
And they went to the theme park. And the next day he had to go to hospital to get operated on his nose.
This is so funny because the girls always at football say that, not that I'm rude, but like I'm so red, and we call red like so direct, like, are you gonna like sort it or are we going to the theme park? And I know I've got this from Dad.
Oh, 100%.
Big one, final question. We need a backtrack though, because this is before recent weeks. Imagine this was like 3 weeks ago, yeah?
Isn't?
Liverpool winning the league or South making it to Wembley?
South making it to Wembley. We've won the league recently. Unfortunately, they didn't manage, but I would have loved to see you at Wembley, and I would have loved to see you in a cup final. How often do you get that? I would have picked that, definitely.
Really? Wow, I thought you were going to have to really, really think about this one. I'm
No,
so proud of you, Answer.
I am a Liverpool fan, and I enjoy watching them. But it's not that important, is it?
You tell me.
I don't think it is. It'll be way more important to have family in a major event. And we would have, or you would have managed, and we would have been allowed to be there. We had it all prepared. But there you go. That's how life goes.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cute. That's a nice one to end on.
That is a nice one.
Put you in a really good light.
Yes. Thank you very much for those questions. They said a lot about me as well, and I'll be thinking about them today all day. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I always say this, so like, I know you, obviously. I've grown up with you, but people don't know you, and I do think you've got so much to share.
I'm not starting another podcast.
No, don't worry. And I also will give you back the control of asking questions because I know you love that. Do you know what? Everyone I speak to about the podcast, they always tell me that, oh, you're going to get a big head now, but you're such a natural. And first of all, you speak so well and you ask really, really good questions.
That's not natural. That's
just what people tell
doing
me.
It's doing over and over. It comes out of me natural now, but I've done it over and over and over again. You should have seen the first episodes we had on our investment podcast. They were well prepared. I always said I'm not going to script it because I hate it when things are scripted and they laugh about things which are not funny, or you notice they've laughed a third time about the same bloody thing. But it was a lot of work to get here, and a lot of nerves to get here as well.
Yeah. How nervous are you now, or how nervous were you for these questions?
I was sweating, but it's all right.
You're the worst. You hate not being in control.
Yeah.
You hate surprises as well.
And I noticed this again. So let's get back into control, Soph. We'll do this next week again.
Okay, I'll pass it back to you. You can sign it off.
Thank you very much. Amazing questions. Taught a lot about myself as well. Looking forward to having a guest again next time.
Yes.
Not going to say who, but thank you very much again, Soph. Thank you very much, Ollie, for all your insights. And
well, you're not even giving the mic back to me, so I don't get a chance to say this.
And I'll see you again next time,
Thanks so much for all your insight. Thanks so much for all your insight and your vulnerability and answering my questions.
See you next week.
See you next week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.